It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
Welcome back, and you're watching the Evil X channel. Last time we installed the catless downpipe, the VRSF, and we gained over 100 horsepower on the 2020 Toyota Supra. And now it's tire shredding insanity. But it wasn't just the downpipe that made that possible. We also loaded a map from MHD, a stage 2. Now I wanted to show you what that process involves. So you're gonna need your Wi-Fi adapter for your OBD2 port, and then we'll go over the process of how that connects to your phone and how you get the flash uploaded onto your car. If you want to see more Supra content and installs, browse through the videos on my channel, see if any of those interest you as well. We also have tons of WRX content, so if you like either of those two cars, check out some of those videos and consider subscribing. Leave me a message in the comments, say, I subscribed, that way I know you're here. Thanks for watching. So this particular Supra is an A90 2020. And it does have an unlocked ECU, so that's one of the reasons I went with the MHD for this particular car. So if you don't fall in that camp, don't worry, there's other things for you like piggyback ECUs like a JB4 or things of that nature. One of the ways you can check to see whether your car has an unlocked ECU is the manufacturer date. According to some sources, it is going to have to be a date before June of 2020 on the manufacturer date. Before that, most likely you're unlocked. So to check that, you can check in the driver's side door jamb, basically. It will tell you what your manufacturer date. So looking over here, manufacturer, see there at the top, 9/19. So that would be September 2019 was the manufacturer date on this. So you're saying to yourself, well, the ECU date could be different than the chassis date, and you're not wrong. So let's double check. Take off your ECU cover, mine's already loose. Unclips really easily. Then this is your DME, that's what a BMW language for ECU. So then there's gonna be two black clips. So there's one there, and then one black clip over there. So get both hands and just pull these towards the driver's side a little bit, then this whole module will actually come up. Then we can look on the back and see what the date is. Then you can just pull up on the DME. So looking there on the production label there, above the QR code, see if I can zoom. It says 19902. So that means 2019, September 2nd. Here's the MHD Tuning website. So you will need to buy a license. And keep in mind, the license is sold separately from the Wi-Fi adapter. I'll leave product links below. So this is just the license. You're gonna have to buy that OBD2 Wi-Fi adapter separately. So looking at this is for the BMW B58 motor, including the Supra and a whole bunch of other BMW models that have that same motor. So I'll put a link to this below. So there it's listed in the price in euros. I believe that's like 500 and something dollars. For the license, it's pretty much comparable, I would say, to like a Cobb access port. If you're familiar with Subaru or other brands that use Cobb access ports, that's like $650. Now that does include the Cobb access port device and the maps, but all in, it's going to be about the same if you were to compare it to that. So it tells you about everything that it includes. So again, this is the Super license for the Supra. Now the Super license has a whole bunch of maps included. That's why I went with this. So if we keep scrolling down, it'll show us all of our different supported maps. So all the vehicles. All right. So there's your stock numbers approximately, different maps that are included, stage 0+, will take you to 360. Stage 1, so you wouldn't even need any additional parts, no downpipe, just stock as your car came, load this map, and that would get you to about 420 horsepower. So again, there's different octane ratings within each map, so it's gonna vary on your horsepower amounts, but you can see on here, so we got the stage 2, so that's what I loaded on. So cars equipped with a high flow catalytic converter downpipe or a catalyst downpipe, 470. So that's what we are gonna load on there. Your OBD2 Wi-Fi adapter connects up here on the Supra. The OBD2 port is just right there. I would say disconnect your phone from Bluetooth or Apple CarPlay, just so it's not also trying to talk to your system while you're doing this. Then go into your phone settings. I'm on an Android. We are going to go to network, Wi-Fi, so it'll search for the networks. Let's figure out what the password is. Okay, so when you connect to the Wi-Fi on your adapter, your password is on the back of the unit. I just spent 15 minutes doing research on the phone to figure that out. We'll put a battery tender on it just in case, so during the flashing process we are definitely not losing power. Don't want to brick it. So download the MHD app from the Apple Store or from the Google Play Store. When you first open it up, it'll ask you to create an account. You can sign in with Facebook, or you could create an account with the email address. So you'll click the hamburger icon on the top. Then this would be where you sign in, and then my licenses. Under new licenses, you select that and then put in the product key they gave you. Then back to the main menu when you are ready to flash a map. Here's the ones that they have. They have it listed in either octane or RON, depending on which market in the world you are as far as the octane rating. So there's stage 1, no additional parts needed, 91 octane, 93, 95, or a E30 blend. Stage 2 with the same options to have those different fuel parameters. And then when you are ready to flash, you will, after you have your octane selected, you'll click on actually where it says stage 1, stage 2. Options, exhaust, burble, etc. That sounds exciting. Cold start, noise reduction. Exhaust flap always open in sport mode. Startup roar.
Well, I think you need some of that.
Remove top speed, max, Vmax limiter. That's checked by default. Thanks. Okay, we'll play that out later. Long right, I think we got to do that the first time.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
So it was at that point I thought I had really messed things up. I come from a computer background, and if you're flashing a BIOS on a computer and it fails halfway through, or you lose power, you lose the motherboard. That thing's dead. So I instantly had like these visions and nightmares of having to explain to Toyota or BMW or whoever that I had just broke my new car. And so that was scary. I started the flashing process, and it initially looked like it was going well, but it only got up to 2%. Then it said failed. Then I got all these warnings and scary messages on the displays in the car. I was like, oh no, I had screwed this up. So it said turn the vehicle to the on position. So I'm used to the Subaru world with a turnkey ignition. I know some of them have push start as well, but the ones I had are turnkey. So you put it to the on position without turning on the vehicle, and you load your maps. I used the Cobb access port maps in the past. So those are pretty straightforward. So I hadn't done it with a push button before. We've all been there. Everyone's got to do something for the first time. So I went back and I was looking through the MHD user's manual, and they say to turn the car to the on position, So you get in the vehicle and you just hit the start stop button without pushing on the brake, obviously, because the vehicle needs to be off during the tuning process. So I believe I did that correctly because it started the flash update. Now, after it failed, I started thinking what might have caused that. So don't quote me on this. This is just a theory of mine, that after a particular time period, it goes off of that on position and times out. So perhaps as I was setting things up, getting ready, playing with the software, it had timed out during that period. So I tried it again. This time I just hit the on button, vehicle not started, but then I put my foot on the brake again with the vehicle off and kept it on there during the whole flashing process. It took like 3 or 4 minutes. And that way, my thinking behind that is that it would recognize that I'm in the vehicle and not time out and go off of the on position from the ignition, so that the OBD2 Wi-Fi adapter is still communicating with my phone, and that whole process goes through correctly and finishes all the way. So it did, and it worked, but I was sweating bullets there for a minute. I was like, if I screwed this up, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But it ended up working, so I hope that this is helpful for someone out there so that they can do this process, if that's something you want to do, and kind of have a little background or someone else's take on it, on what might happen. But it all turned out well.
So you can also check gauges on here, monitor. Now, the menu isn't the most intuitive thing I've ever seen. If you want to get to the gauges, tap up there, then they'll open up. So you can do different layouts. So if I was to go back one, you can go options, then configure options, gauge layout 2x2, 1, 2, 3, 2x2, 2x3, 2x4. So those are some of the options. See if we can back out of there. Go to the gauges. So again, we'll hit this arrow. Maybe. Okay, then if you want to change the gauges, all you have to do is tap on one of the gauges. Then you can select from any one of these parameters you want. Pretty cool. However, here's the problem. So this is nice. I would actually use this. But you have to leave your MHD adapter connected to your OBD2 port. So see there, it's flashing away because it's communicating. So what if we back out of here and disconnect it? What happens if we disconnect it? So let's disconnect from Wi-Fi. So we are connected to it right now. Take our phone, turn off the car. All right. So we are just enjoying our gauges and we want to lock the car. So it's locked. And the alarm goes off. So that is super annoying. I don't know if there's a way to back out of the software and leave the adapter attached, because that'd be nice to use, but I'm not gonna plug it in every single time I get in the car. So if you know the answer to that, much appreciated, put a comment below. But it's something to keep in mind. But after having that scary moment, the car tuned fine and it runs amazing. It's freaking crazy, I love it. So if you're looking for an off-the-shelf map option, I think this is a good bet. That, especially if in your area there's no BMW tuners or people with the expertise to work on one of these cars, off-the-shelf map is probably a good way to go. Again, if you have a later model 2020, this software on the application, you can hit the test button and it'll tell you whether you are locked or unlocked.
So on the 2020 models, that's not the end of the world. If you can contact a tuner, they can bench unlock your ECU, and then you can do a full flash tune like this. If not, again, you can use a piggyback tuner like a JB4 or something like that. And that applies to the 2021 and above models as well. You can use those piggyback tuners. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it was helpful for someone out there. And again, browse through the videos on my channel and see if any of those interest you, and consider subscribing. I appreciate you being here, and until next time, I'm out. Okay, my heart about stopped there for a second because I didn't know, you guys are gonna laugh at me, I didn't know the button combination to, I don't know, get in accessory mode. I was pretty sure the engine shouldn't be running while you flash the tune, but on a standard key ignition, you know, you turn it to the on position. So I don't know the procedure of what you push on the start stop button. Anyway, so it started to flash, but then it got to like 2% and it went out of on position. So it had a failure, malfunction, and I like about had a heart attack. I thought it, you know, if you are interrupted mid-flash, that's usually a really bad thing. So anyway, we got out of the car, closed the door again. I kept my foot on the brake just so it would assume I'm in the car and stay in the on position or accessory position, and reloaded. The first time you load the map, it was like 3 or 4 minutes, but it's on there now. No more error codes. Let's go take it for a drive. I'm still kind of like scared from that, but let's go.